Gemini, what's going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it. Happy day. Thank you so much for your patience in regards to me getting them out. It's been a little busy on my end. I think I meant to upload a video on that and I just didn't. I'm kind of bad about that stuff sometimes. So I appreciate it. It's, we've moved into Aries season. So there's a lot of fire element that is being enlivened. We're starting to get busier. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, we're in the spring season where it's really good. Well, regardless of where we're at, Aries season is all about investing in self, planting our seeds. And right now there's not a lot of movement in terms of new growth, new direction. It's more about contending with what is in our life as we're speaking. We have to be open and flexible to change, but there's also things that we're being forced to reckon with, so to speak. People, relationships, dynamics that, either we've been giving a hall pass or we didn't, just things are changing. Things are coming to the surface. Both Venus and Mercury are in retrograde. So we really have to be mindful of our approach in those dynamics and making sure that we are honoring ourselves as we do. That's why I like to start off with these energy cleansings, just kind of set the tone, set the vibe for the reading. It's a great way to cleanse out some of that limitation, frustration that we might be coming into. It's also a really good time to set your own intention, Gemini, especially if you've come into this with something on your heart, something on your mind, something you would like Spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over. Be open to receive. It's a great way to personalize these collective readings. And I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing, wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how things are specifically faring for you, or if you're looking for more of a realignment of your mind, body, soul, I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. When we're aligned with self, when we know who we are, what we want, what makes us happy and feel supported, it's way easier to live a life, make choices that are in alignment with our fulfillment, which is what we all deserve, right? We deserve to be happy. We deserve to enjoy this life experience. So yeah, definitely hit me up if you're interested in my services. I would be honored to support, to help out in any way possible. All the info to get into contact with me, Gemini, is in the description box below. All right, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it, and release it from our being so we may see and understand the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama love, Mama love. Amen. All right, Gemini, let's get into it. So astrologically, it's been interesting, a lot of back and forth. Like I was talking about in the very beginning, it's stuff that we kind of know on some level we're prepared for, even if it's not necessarily coming from the same person, same situation. It's energy, it's patterns that we're contending with. Don't believe every thought that you have. Thoughts can be sneaky lying bastards, 100%. So disconnecting, from some of the fear, from some of the anxiety that's definitely been provoked in the atmosphere in the astrology right now. Again, easier said than done. Mercury's in retrograde. Neptune actually just moved into Aries, which is really nice, but it's this value of when it was in Pisces, it was stirring a lot. It was really hard to kind of sift through between illusion, reality, trusting our intuition, etc. And now that it's in Aries, I'm hearing it as putting those intuitive hits to practice, which is easier said than done. But at the same time, Spirit saying to trust yourself, to trust your instincts, to trust where you are coming from. You are loved. You are supported. There have been some things that have been difficult, but at the same time, well, there's this thing that I do say to my son sometimes is gold-plated problems, right? Like, for the most part, we all have it good, and I'm not trying to demean, everybody's circumstances are different. I don't think we're like, the most lavish, abundant, people or whatever. But what I'm trying to say is there's always ways that we can be thankful. We can be grateful. We're supported. Food, clothes, shelter, etc. And there's this value that we really have to acknowledge, validate ourselves. That's sometimes why we do find ourselves complaining about everything, because we're not feeling heard, we're not feeling understood, we're not feeling validated. And I'm hearing this as you needing to validate yourself, well, this is hilarious because it's saying to be grateful, and that's in your blocked energy right now. So again, just confirmation of what I was saying. Maybe there are parts that are really difficult. This has also been coming up a lot in the daily collectives. It's also in the astrology right now, where sometimes life is just tough, right? Sometimes we are just going through it. We are living the hard lessons. And, it doesn't make it easier or better per se, but when we can validate ourselves, when we can find the places that we are loved and supported by people, situations in our life that are feeding into us in a positive way, that's where it makes it easier, right? That's where, as much as it might not be light at the end of the tunnel, some of this is Spirit asking you to shake up your energy a little bit, not getting so stuck in the mantra of life is so hard. It might be, for sure, and I'm not here to invalidate that. It's also this value of get out, getting out, doing something for yourself. There's this message of the 5 of Pentacles energy. When we're feeling down and out, when we're feeling rejected by someone, something, go help someone who's less fortunate. It really puts things into perspective, and it takes our mind off our gold-plated problems. And again, not a way to invalidate, but just confirming, I do it, I catch myself in that all the time. And that is where life becomes a perspective shift. You might not have a lot of opportunities for feeling safe and comfortable right now. You're coming in as the 4 of Wands, so some of this might be affecting your home, your sense of stability. And when we're in that space, that can also be very difficult to overcome. But it is kind of looking like, instead of acknowledging it, grieving it, and moving through it, there's this part of you that's just kind of shutting down. The emotions are feeling really overwhelming. And as I'm recording this, the moon is tensely aspected to 7 different planets. Basically just confirming what I'm saying, where, it's, I don't know, there's something that's throwing you off with a person, with a dynamic, where you're looking at things differently, and you're very worried about how this is gonna all play out. It does feel like a lot of fear of the unknown. You don't wanna be dragged into something, and I feel like it looks like you feel like you are. It looks like you want things to be at the status quo, but something is shaking things up, and it's making you nervous. Again, there's this knee-jerk reaction to maybe want to shut down or cope with putting too many responsibilities on your plate, being too busy, distracting. Maybe even distracting with too much electronics, too much TV, too much social media, all that kind of stuff. Here's the thing, you can feel something's happening. Something's brewing underneath the surface. And I feel like this is also something that you can't necessarily prevent from happening. It just is headed in this direction. And you're very worried about it, but this is, again, something that might affect you, but it doesn't completely involve you. And this is kind of what your spidey senses are picking up. And I feel like it's heightening the fear, it's heightening the anxiety, but at the same time, you know, we're only limited with how much we can do, how much we can accomplish in a day. And I'm not harping on you. I hope this doesn't come across as tough. It's tough love. Gemini, I'm sorry, but this value of like being easy on yourself, again, really connecting not only with the people, the situations where you are loved, where you are supported, but maybe this is just like not putting so much on your plate, finding some fun things to do, being thankful, being grateful for what is around you, what is good in your life, and like honoring those things, putting energy, time into those things. Because whatever you're feeling, whatever you're picking up on the horizon, you know, you're feeling it. There's a reason for it, but it's not gonna help right now. And Taurus kind of had a similar energy of like, don't put your head in the sand. I feel like that's a lot of where we are seeing in the astrology, the collective is resisting that change, right? Or resisting what it actually means to like be honest about people, about dynamics in our life, right? And putting your head in the sand, not acknowledging some of that stuff, is limiting this energy of co-creation. Maybe it's easier to shut down. Maybe it's just easier to disconnect. Again, the fear of the unknown feels definitely very heightened. Embrace the change. Embrace what's on the horizon. Don't sleep through life, always evolve. Yeah. And again, like, I don't think a lot of this energy that we're going through as a collective feels very comfortable. There's a part of this where you're watching something happen that is very difficult to watch. It does definitely play on your emotions. And this is something that you've kind of seen happen over and over and over again. And you're just trying to make your own sense out of it to the best of your ability. Again, maybe why you just have a lot on your plate, why you're juggling a lot. It's all going to come out, and you know this, and this is part of where that preparation is coming in. But it's going to be okay. That's what I have to say, Gemini. It's going to be okay. Maybe give yourself a little more credit. Give yourself a little more credit where credit's due. Yes, take care of yourself, but don't, hole yourself into a place where you're just self-protecting, because there are really good things that are unfolding out of this. Even if it does mean we're leaving behind or closing the door on something else, we can't necessarily hold on too tightly to those things. Then it ends up being way more detrimental in the long run. So, and thankfully this is just the energy for this week. I hope it helped. I hope you were able to find messages that resonated for you here, Gemini. Definitely drop comments below if you did. I love to hear, or just say, hey, share in a little love, a little TLC. I so appreciate all the love, all the support that you bring to the channel. Know that I'm sending it back your way.